All right. Hey. Carter. BBT Carter. Okay. All right. Hello. And welcome to Between Two Rigs with BBT Tim. I'm your host, BBT Tim. Today's topic, dollar cost averaging. And we have a special guest here today, BBT Carter. Carter, welcome to my show.
It's my show.
Carter, why do you like gold so much?
Gold?
Is it because you enjoy diving into it and swimming around like Uncle Scrooge McDuck? Carter, did you hear that not everything that glitters is gold? Glitter would be one example. Yeah. But in actuality, it's my understanding that you're a rare breed. Not many people would actually take on these kind of mining opportunities. They would turn them down.
Well, why is that?
It's a rock bottom job. Also, I heard it's a boring job. Boring.
It's just
Carter, do you have Peter Schiff's autograph?
no. Why would I have Peter Schiff's autograph?
Well, it says here that you run a mining company.
Yes.
And so I was wondering, is that why you have the prospector beard and the sun-drenched leathery skin?
The skin is good. What? I thought we were going to talk about DCA in this video.
Fine. Okay, fine. All right. Carter, what is DCA?
Well, DCA is dollar cost averaging, and it's when you make incremental purchases over a period of time to average out your price entry, because trying to find the bottom on anything is very hard. You want to spread that out over time, and it'll start to average out that price to be something that's better than, what you would be just trying to time the market on.
Sounds a bit droll, to be honest. A little boring. It's not my cup of tea, but I understand that we're going to talk about why we would do that. But personally, I prefer to put all my money in right at the exact bottom so that I can maximize my profit.
So we'd be all interested on learning how you do that.
What's that?
Yeah, that's kind of typical. If you hear anybody telling you that they are pricing the entire bottom or going after the bottom, that kind of, when you call them out on it, I think this is kind of what we get. Oh, welcome back, Tim.
Hey, just fixing some technical issues there. Well, so then, okay, describe more for us, please.
No one actually catches the bottoms or really the tops. It tends to result in people losing more because we fall prey to our human psychology. We see the price go up and we have a fear of missing out, FOMO. Or we wait indefinitely for lower lows, then the price rebounds and it never actually goes back down to that bottom. Setting the automatic purchase of tokens you're interested in removes the psychological aspect. It also helps average down the price because $100 of Bitcoin will buy you more Bitcoin when it's priced lower, and over time, your cost basis will become lower. And if you're like me, believing in the entire cryptocurrency industry is based on world-changing technology, then you'll know that it has a lot of growth to come over the years. While this is not financial advice, I feel like slowly acquiring solid tokens will tend to pay off over the longer time horizon.
Carter, you inspired me. I feel artistic today. So I just drew a picture for you.
Looks like a baseball.
It says, "Where's me pot of gold?" It does look like a baseball, so I was accurate. You made me think. When I think I need to take a contemplative drink because hydration is very important. for thinking correctly when you're in this industry. Good. So you said world-changing technology. So, okay, let's say I'm okay with your dollar cost averaging idea and I put in money at a periodic basis as opposed to throwing it all in at the exact right time. What if I think that we're at a rather low point and maybe I accept that it might go even lower. Can I put a little bit more money in because I'm okay not hitting the exact bottom, but I want to accumulate more at this point?
Based on your knowledge and comfort with the industry, and this is where a lot of folks say do your own research. You can watch videos, the stuff that we put out, what other folks put out. But at the end of the day, it comes down to what your understanding your comfortability is. And when you see a low period like right now in the industry, you may want to put a little more risk to it. The point of the DCA technique is to overcome emotions, ensure that you have enough dry powder to be able to spend over a period of time. It's also about managing like that extra capital that you have from various different sources of income, because you might have life events too. So what people sometimes get into is where they see a low like this and they're putting so much in, and then they end up having to resell even lower because they didn't plan for a longer time horizon there. So that they buy, like right now it's at 19,000 as an example in this video, and then they put too much in and then they have to sell and maybe it went down to 17, and then they get into this kind of loop of depression with that. So scaling that back to make it sure it's comfortable and not impacting you, I think is a very critical aspect of this. And it's the whole point of this is a long time horizon.
I'm gonna tell you I'm impressed. You sound like you know what you're talking about.
Well, that's good.
So anyway, why don't you walk us through the details of this process a little bit more deeply? For example, I get not everybody has as much money as I do, right? So they might care about the fees. So, how would you guide them? There's a lot of different platforms out there. How would you guide them on their strategy to DCA on different platforms or different venues that they might choose?
Yeah, so there's really about 4 steps in this process. First, you have to go and create an account somewhere that makes sense within your country that you have access to an exchange. So it's somebody that you're going to move your fiat currency over to cryptocurrency. And this could be, a Coinbase if you're in the US, a Bittrex, Poloniex in some other countries, Binance, stuff like that. And then you would link a payment source. So it's your bank account or any other kind of payment source. Some places accept PayPal, Cash App, that sort of thing. So it's creating an account, it's linking a payment source, and then setting up a reoccurring buy. I think this is one of the most critical things because it takes that kind of emotion and that consistency issue out of the table, where you can commit to, let's say, every Friday, you're setting when you get paid, you're putting from your normal day job, you're putting in just like you would with a 401k. And you just set that frequency up. And then it's all about security after that. And with the latest situation going on in this space, especially where we're trusting some CeFi industry participants and they've created some kind of margin position and they get liquidated, moving those coins off an exchange, I think is a good behavior, where you're making your dollar cost average buys and then you're setting up a local personal wallet that can be tied to a hardware wallet. All of these different steps that we're going to take as BBT team to help you go through each one as individual videos. So we're going to drill down on this and allow folks to have an understanding from each one of those aspects, from creating an account, linking your accounts, creating a reoccurring buy, and then the security aspect of it. If you're going to take self-custodial of it, taking that internally and not having to leave that on an exchange, because I think that's a critical part in this industry that we're learning right now.
We got some key words that you just said. You talked about FOMO. You talked about human psychology, averaging down, cost basis. So that one I hadn't heard before. So it sounds like that's the average price that you're getting after accumulating every 2 weeks, every month, the cost basis. So if you do this DCA process, you're going to have a lower cost basis over the years.
Correct. So if you bought it $100, at one point, and then you bought again at $50, it's adjusting your cost basis to $75. So what you have into it is $75 now. You don't have that one time that you bought 100 and that one time that you bought at 50. Your average price has now been adjusted. So then if Bitcoin, when you bought it at 50, comes back up over 75, you're now in essentially a profit. You did buy it at a high at 100, but then you also caught a position at, if you're buying the same amount, with dollars, you got more yield. So you have a volume weighted average now that brings you down to that $75. So now if it's 85, you're up $10. So that's the entire point of this, is that psychologically, when you're buying the tops and you get like, oh my gosh, I bought the tops and now I'm under. Now, if you're buying at a lower point in time, you're getting more yield, especially if you add more and you're bringing your cost basis down.
Well, you still haven't convinced me that gold is better than cryptocurrency, but I'm going to have to say, I think the audience learned a lot from you today. And Carter, I'm going to thank you on behalf of our audience and myself and Bits Be Trippin'. Thank you for coming to my show.
Yeah, my show, but yeah, for sure. Awesome.
We're done?
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's good.
Okay.
We'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks.
I did good.
I like it.